So people have been wondering where I've been. I've been regenerating. If you don't understand what that means, then just listen to this. My wordplay will snatch the average man's vertebrae. Shout out to my 10 tribe partners, baby orderly. When we combine, they considering us a mass threat. Blacks, natives, Mayas, Incas, and the Aztecs. You think it's far-fetched? You got to be kidding me. These same niggas saying Santa sliding down they chin. Look, when it comes to justice, they just ignore us. But watch everything we do through the eye of horrors. It's piss porous where we at, but where they at is gorgeous. I'm setting flames to these churches with Caesar Borgia. Got the duty of man, camp down in Georgia. Hold it down, keep the faith, the Most High is gonna reward you. I don't beef with my Hebrew peeps. I keep a cordial from a chosen stock, and you not. Sucks to be you. Yeah, the number is significant. While Satan's running wild, I'm trying to focus on my discipline. Moving like a whirlwind, I'm fighting till the world wins. To understand what that means, it's Isaiah 45:17. Aristocrat genes, kings and queens, but these Edomites be pulling our strings. I cut the cords in 94, avoid the bull like a matador. But if it's beef, I got an army of carnivores. Ric Flair, figure four, doors up the hinge. I got the gird with the drip, and it's matching my friends. I'm not friendly. I was taught to prove a friend. I'm set apart and don't give a damn about friends or your timelines, your Bentley or your high rise. Detonate your enterprises full of lies. Pull up and stop and bust more shots. And when I do, it be a genocide like Pol Pot. And that's real history. Show me a white Jew, I'll solve the Bigfoot mystery. It's not happening. You stuck in a case of fatal attraction. Both action with the words of the Lord when I be rapping. Catch your breath. Line your target up. People need you. Let's go. Cry loud. I cry loud. Yeah. Heathens can't see me, your rhymes just like feces. Favorite candy Reese's, read the KJV. Stocking up on ammo, I've been paranoid lately. SPLC, got them hating on me. With verbal energy of our captors draining our energy. Yeah, that's why I got this Hennessy. 2 to 2/3, we gon' toast to your memory. Most definitely got the recipe. Expertly snatch the souls of my enemies. The rest be running like they centipedes. I keep the law, fear the Lord, solidify my legacy. Tranquilo, just let it be. You lost, trapped in a maze like Frank Beverly. Change the time like Pope Gregory. You want the truth? Say the word, we'll pull up at your residency. Valhalla, but more heavenly. End of the road, truth be told, we inherently are the chosen, north and south interwoven. Hit you with 10 like DeRozan. You know what mouth got your ears smoking. Kwame Yasha Allah, we live and die by the slogan.
Matthew 19, verse 28. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, all that good stuff. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High. While Yahweh Shah, it's your brother Ahmath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. Back for another one. DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger, right? Salute to the families in the house, man. I know it's a little off schedule, typically, but you know, duty calls. When duty calls, we gotta adjust and always be prepared for change. Right, but salute to everybody that's tapping in and got your notifications, popped in and said what's up. Shalom to my brother. Hey, Karat Design, what's going on, Ike? How's your mind? House Shalom to you, Uziel, Kohav, brother Ron out there, Ashar, Sister Rosemarie out there in London. Shalom to all of y'all. All right, all praise to the Most High. Welcome to another episode, man. Shabbat Shalom to be in fact and indeed, man. Prayerfully, everybody's doing well on this day. But hey, you see the headline, you see the title. Americans are seeing more peril than promise here, right? The whole dream is fading away. That's a quote directly from an article we're gonna look at in a little bit. But you know, yeah, Kohath, they put the fire out a couple days ago. I think it lasts about seven days, almost 8 days. We're gonna talk about that too, man, because it's something more sinister going on with that. If you ask me, there's something more sinister going on with these damn fires, and we're gonna connect the dots. All right. Americans see more peril than promise. We told you, but our people don't want to listen. Blacks and Native Americans, Hispanics, man, got their heads so far up each other's butt cheeks, man. It's incredible. You're trying to tell them, listen, this place is going down. This place has a decided end. You are the chosen people of the Most High God. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Change your ways. Follow after the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Keep the faith for Christ. And you'll bid well when everything starts collapsing and crumbling. Most High willing, right? But when it's all said and done, we told you. But it's okay. We're going to have to prove it, though, right? Let's look at a few articles. We're going to look at some scriptures. We're going to show and prove, right? Because the scriptures say, man, prove all things. All right. So let's get to it. I'm going to be quick and concise today, the best I can through the Spirit. I think I'm already set up. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, let me do this again. All right. So here we go. Let's start off with a scripture first, right? Let's start off with what I want to start off with. Let's start off first. Let's start with Revelation. Revelation 18, right? So when we're talking about when there's a census going on and you're asking multiple people within America, the patriots all the way down to the slaves, you're wondering what is the outcome of America? How is your outcome feeling for the future of America? Everybody's saying this place is going down, man. There's going to be more problems than it is prosperity. Revelation 18, verse 2, it says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils. Now, obviously, this is not talking about ancient Babylon, because John the Revelator is well beyond that time, 500, 600 plus years or more since Babylon fell. You trying to tell me he's prophesying about something that already happened? No, we all should know this. He's prophesying about a future Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, the offspring of Babylon, the spirit of another kingdom, another nation that's going to carry the same spirit as ancient Babylon, from its customs all the way down to its hierarchical rule. The head of gold that's spoken of in Daniel 2. Same way you see Agent Orange running around with his little gold coin with his face on it, trying to create and print money with his face on it. Crypto scams, all of that. Yeah, the same country is right here. But the Lord said that it's prophesied to fall. Now we're seeing it, understanding where that spirit is coming from, why it's encompassing a lot of people, is because they realize that this place is going down. Expats or expatriates are fleeing and denouncing their citizenship in record droves, fleeing America, saying it's over with. I don't want nothing to do with it. They're going to New Zealand, they're going to Spain, they're going to Italy, they're going to Portugal, they're going to where else have they been fleeing to? And that's what's so interesting too, is they're going to Thailand, they are everywhere but here. And they're not really escaping going down to connected countries of Babylon, like Puerto Rico, the Dominican, South America. They're getting the hell up out of Babylon, period. Why? Because it's going to fall. And it's become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So if you're looking for anything that's unclean, hateful, unrighteous, wicked, anti-biblical, you're going to find it all right here. America is going to produce everything that you want and need. When it comes down to the sexual immorality, when it comes down to LGBTQ plus HIV, promoting them and giving them all the rights. You got all these baseball teams and in particular the baseball teams now being compromised, having to wear rainbow hats and rainbow outfits and all this other stuff in celebration of quote unquote Pride Month. This place is the place that promotes it and celebrates it the most. Right? You want to be a man or you want to be a woman, come right here. It's all good. You'll be accepted. You got rights. You're going to be back. You want a same-sex marriage, you can do that. There's a whole network where they're, trafficking children so you can get your pleasures on, i.e. the Epstein class and their, debauchery going on with that's all here. Want to get hooked on drugs, it's all right here. They did a study, had to be more than maybe about 10 years ago. And it turned out that they said that over 70% of Americans are on a prescriptive drug. That's 70%, right? That's just, let me see here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. 70. See this? Nearly 70% of U.S. adults now take prescription medications. I mean, they've beaten us down to where we're constantly and bombarded with sickness, disease, plague, hooking everybody up on daily medications, big pharma, right? Now, this is prescriptive medicine. What about those that's hooked on drugs, the illegal substances? You might as well bump that up another 20, 25%. So that should tell you that there's only a small remnant of people who aren't on some sort of drug at this point. But if you want it, it's right here. Every hold of foul spirit, you got these zombie cities. I forgot the name of that city over there in Philly. You got Skid Row. Every place got them. You name it, you got it. It's all right here. Hold of every foul and unclean and hateful bird, systematic racism, redlining, sharecropping, everything was born and been bred right here. All right. So that should be understood. But the Lord said that this place is going to have a fall. Right. Now let's jump over here to 1 Peter 4. And we're going to read let's read verse 7. Because this is the prescription that we need. Not the dope, not the fentanyl, not the weed, no. The Lord said this is what we need to do. 1 Peter 4 and 7. But the end of all things is at hand. That's not me saying that. It's not hyperbole. That's not a suggestion. The Lord is saying the end of all things. There is going to be an end of all things, whether I like it, you like it, prepare for it or not. But you remember that old saying, all good things must come to an end? This applies right here. So what are we talking about? It's going to be the end of the rulership of our enemies. It's going to be the end of wickedness, unrighteousness, unclean and hateful birds ruling over us, ruling over the world, setting up and establishing unrighteous and unjust laws, wicked diplomacy, right? The end of all things is at hand. But continuing on, it says, be ye therefore sober and watch and pray. So we have to be constantly aware. Doesn't mean you have to, you got to put down a bottle, but if you got that problem, you definitely should. Because that would literally apply to you, because that impairs your judgment, impairs your wisdom, impairs your ability to, be motivated. Constantly clouds your judgment, your memory. If all those things, if you're addicted to that, put that down. You got to literally sober up. Because there's no way in the world you're going to be prepared when the ish hits the fan and you reeking of liquor and you got withdrawals and everything else, and you can't defend your family, you can't defend yourself, you can't even think straight, you can't organize, you can't do nothing. But spiritually, we have to be sober. What sober mean? To be aware, to be vigilant. We have to constantly be on watch, right? So it says to be therefore sober and watch under prayer. We have to watch when we pray. We have to continually be in our prayer. You got to be in your closets. You got to have your connection with the Most High. We have to be able to have that communication with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because when it's all said and done, that's going to be our saving grace. There ain't nothing, we always talk about preparing and all this other stuff, but when it's all said and done, man, if the works of our hands are not blessed by the Most High, by Yahweh, you can forget about it. You can prepare all day. You can have stacks of, as high as the ceiling with canned goods and water and dried fruit and foods and, ammo to the gills. It doesn't really matter if that is not blessed by the Most High, and He is our ultimate protector, the wings of our protection. You know, those are all things that we have to continue on. But the only way we can make sure that those works get blessed is if we stay in prayer with Him, right? That's important. Okay, so let's get right to it, man. I'm not gonna, you know what? Let me get a couple. No, we're gonna get right to it. I'm on a limited time schedule today, so let me open this up. As everybody knows, and we've been saying for the longest, shots fired, that MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, is bogus. Trump talking about the Straits open up, let the oil flow, baby, all that stuff. It didn't take but 2 days before they start shooting each other again. Now we know that there was a cargo vessel that Iran shot, hit up a drone attack a few days ago. America now has retaliated. So is this so-called peace deal? Is it fragile? Or is it broken? I mean, if you have a ceasefire and shots are fired, that pretty much says it's over with. The news and the press keeps on trying to string everybody along. Is it still broken? It's already pretty fragile. Maybe it's not over. Maybe it's over with. Why? Because the Lord said, listen, the arrow's been drawn. Who's gonna turn it back? Like, listen, this is not the will of man. Let's look at this. It's not by the will of man that this is even going.
So turning now to more tension in the Middle East, an Iranian drone striking a Singapore-flagged cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz, putting some pressure on the ceasefire reached with the U.S., a UN agency now suspending its evacuations until the safety of ships passing through that waterway can be guaranteed. Jeff Paul is joining us live this morning from Tel Aviv with the latest. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Bill, yeah, and that attack on that Singapore flag ship at the Strait of Hormuz, obviously a major test of this 60-day deal between the U.S. and Iran. Talks are said to still be progressing, but this certainly derails those.
How are talks progressing? Post this, right? There was another, this is when Iran struck the cargo ship. A day later, America fires back at them, and they're saying everything's good. It's like, boom. You in a fight. I sock you, you sock me, and we're like, hey, we need to work this out. Come on. We need to stop fighting. No. Are we still talking? Shut up. No. What? That just doesn't make no sense to me. How are we still having conversations? When there's a, quote, ceasefire, that means that firing is supposed to cease. It's supposed to stop. And that's been violated by all nations. Iran keeps saying that America keeps trying to do some slick stuff, and they like, look, we told y'all we can't. Both sides are saying we can't trust either one, and we know you can't trust a so-called white man. Ask the Native Americans. Over 300 peace treaties have been broken by him, were broken by him. 300 times he lied. This is not a man that is open for negotiation, that's going to live by his word. Everything that he does is either going to be in his favor or he's going to lie and put up a front until he gets his way. Who the hell does that? Except for the devil incarnate. Ooh, he said that. Listen, a devil is simply a deceiver. We all know this, right? Well, there's black devils too. Yeah, there are. But who's the man driving the ship? Who's utilizing that particular spirit to run and dominate whole nations and the world? It surely ain't some old Negro that's on the street saying, give me $1 so I can get something to eat, and he's taking that dollar to go buy some dope with. That ain't the same type of lie.
Efforts to restore ship traffic to what we saw before this war even started. Now, some vessels had recently been evacuated through the United Nations International Maritime Organization's alternative route, but shortly after that ship was attacked by an Iranian drone, the group just announced it is now pausing evacuation of vessels. Iran's Navy released a statement saying this route is unacceptable and extremely dangerous. We warn all vessels to strictly refrain from any movement outside the designated routes. General Jack Keane today on Fox News responding to the situation this way.
We're going to have to arm wrestle this out, make certain that they step back. This is going to get resolved. Either it'll get resolved and the Iranians will stand down and stop what they're doing, or we will force them to stand down.
Now you hear what he's saying? Esau wants his way. He said, remember, Agent Orange said that the only way that they were going to stop, he said they were going to have to bow down and say uncle. Now this big, pepper nose Edomite right here, he's saying the same thing. It's going to stop. Either they're going to concede and do everything we tell them to, or we're going to force them to. What does that mean? That means you're going to escalate the war then. Look at this guy's nose, man. Good Lord. He got a cold little pepper on him. Pickle. All right, let me continue.
President Trump seemingly addressing the growing tensions last night while speaking to some farmers at the White House. He says the strait remains open and emphasized Iran could become a new market for American farmers, saying they'll use unfrozen Iranian assets to buy U.S. crops.
Now, he said that they were going to use, remember that frozen money, the billions of dollars that they were supposed to release and give to Iran, up to $300 billion. Remember that? He's saying, oh, we're going to take their money and utilize it to buy U.S. crops and help agriculture. The spokesman from Iran already said that's a damn lie. We're not doing that. Oh, let me see that real quick, because I didn't pull that one up either. What's the guy's name? Here you go. We get the first thing. Iran rejects U.S. plan to spend frozen assets on American farmers. So another lie. Another lie. They've already rejected that. He's talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna use the money and help the American farmers. You're gonna help the American farmers first of all by lowering the gas prices. You can help the American farmers by stop selling farmlands to China and Bill Gates. Huh? You can help the American farmers by stop selling them GMO seeds and Monsanto based GMO seeds and Roundup with its carcinogens and cancer causing chemicals that's getting sprayed on the crops and fertilizer. What? Help the farmers? Get the F out of here, man.
Success for me is
I'm gonna leave that one alone. Let's move on, right? So we've already seen shots been fired back and forth, man. We might as well say that ceasefire is pretty much null and void. I don't see how they're going to say we're going to come back from this. It was hip hooray a few weeks ago. We've got a peace deal. Everybody was on, all the news, the talking heads, and the Ministry of Truth was online saying the war is over. Trump did it. He's got Iran to open up the strait. Oil is flowing. Everything's going to be great. What's so interesting to me is this: how you know that they're manipulating the gas prices. Everybody, me and the elder Shaf were just talking about that. Gas prices and I'm pretty sure in everybody's areas is slowly but surely dropping down some. Finally, it's below $6 out here in California, right? It's still $5 and some change. If you're using premium, it's like $5. At the cheaper places, you probably get maybe $5.29 for the premium, right? But nothing's really changed regarding this war. There's still been bombing attacks going back and forth. Where's the oil coming from? Well, we know that Trump said, last week? He said we got about 4 weeks left of strategic reserves. After that, bedlam is going to happen. So they're utilizing these strategic reserves to flood the market and get it back up in here. But that's only going to last so long. That's why Esau's like, it's got to end. Either by hook or by crook, we're going to end this. Good luck. So while that war is still going on, remember, I said wars and rumors of wars is going on, man. Putin is planning a military provocation of NATO and states as he comes under pressure from Ukraine attacks, European spies say. So apparently they've got some spies who's saying that Putin is ready to go crazy. And I told y'all a while back, I seen a video of I can't remember if he was a ex-military. He was a particular correspondent that was representing Russia. I think he was on RT or somewhere. And he basically was saying that there's a general feeling within Russia that they think Putin is being too soft. They're like, man, you can end this at any time. Like, get aggressive. End this thing with them. Why are you sitting back here conceding and letting them bomb us and do little things and you pity-patting back and forth with them? You've got the military and the armory and the missiles and even the nukes, the tactical nukes, in fact, to end this thing. So he's being pressured to get even more aggressive. So we've got the heathen. Look, the heathen are raging all over the damn place. In their war cries. The drums are beating loud, right? Psalm 2. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Yeah, because the kings now are all at each other's throats. They're all in disarray. There's confusion. There's allegiances being lined up here, there, and everywhere so that they can all be prepared for war. They're out here imagining a vain thing that this particular kingdom is going to continue on, that they won't have to be under the subjection of the Most High. No, that's not going to happen. They're going to destroy each other, right? Let me see in Daniel. No, let's stay in Psalms. And we're going to read verse 7 down. It says, for the king trusteth in Yahweh, and through the mercy of the Most High, he shall not be moved. Now, the kings of the earth, they don't trust in the Most High. So this formula does not apply to the heathen. A righteous king of Israel, that's the one who trusts in Yahweh. And through the mercy of the Most High, he shall not be moved. See, that's how the Most High's mercy works. When a king is following after righteousness, the Most High continues his stead. But as soon as the king goes off, kingdom's gone. And it's not a respect of persons, because that same formula happened to all of Israel. We got 2 books of Kings and Chronicles that details the ups, the rise and the falls of all of our kings. And each time it was when one didn't trust in the Most High and followed after wickedness, followed after the will of the people, followed after idolatry, followed after the heathen, broken covenants, the whole nine. Each time the Most High took them down. Same rules apply for the heathen. They're not in the stead of being able to trust in the Most High. The Most High has given them an allotted time of power so that the children of Israel, under his grace and mercies, can repent and return back to him so that we can have our righteous position back. The whipping stick and all of that, that's been accomplished. Look, the scriptures even tell us that in Isaiah. Isaiah 40 and verse 1 and 2. Comfort ye, my people, say of your power. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. This is the warfare that we're emboldened in. Oppression, wickedness, slavery, lies, the whole nine. The warfare that we're going through, trying to struggle, killing ourselves just to live, slaving for meager wages, first hired, last fired, all of the cursings, being the bottom of the and the despising of all the nations. The Lord said, your warfare, everything that we've been battling spiritually, remember, the Most High even told us in Ephesians 6, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. Spiritual warfare. That warfare, the Lord said, look, you're at a point now where understanding is now within the earth. You've got the knowledge of the commandments now. You have the knowledge and the ability to know who you are. You no longer can be considered lost, because why? The men of the Lord are out there prophesying, teaching, and doing everything that we can to enlighten our people, to bring us back into the righteous fold. Do we still have Stumbling blocks in our way, absolutely. Satan ain't gonna roll over and just be like, hey, you know what? They're waking up, they got it. No, it's his job to try to take us down. He's not going down without a fight. That's why you see the so-called white man, even all the way up to the prophesied end. He said that he's going out fighting. Revelation 17 tells you that the nation, the 10 horns, is going to make war with the Lamb. 2nd Ezra 13 tells you that the nations are fighting each other, and they're going to stop, and they're going to see the man on the mountain, which is Yahweh Shai, and they're going to sit back and say, hey, we need to fight him. And they're going to go out in a blaze of, not glory, in a blaze of full of ash and dust and bondage and slavery and shackles for those that make it out. That's salvation for them. That's what they're being saved from. Utter destruction and death. Not the salvation that the children of Israel is going to be given, which is no more tears, wealth, prosperity, servants, handmaids, our own land being given back to us, rulership and dominion over the nations. That's salvation. Having a whole loaf regarding healing and blessings. Big difference. But the Lord says, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. The other nations ain't fighting. There's no warfare for them. They can get in where they fit in at and be okay. I always say, man, you take 2 homeless cats, man, a black man and a white man, you clean up that white, you clean them both up and go send them both on a job interview. Guess who's going to get hired first? Guess who's going to get that second call back? That's the way the system is built. It's the way the system is set up. I seen a show called Intervention some years ago. There was a young Edomite. He had been in his late 20s with an addiction to heroin. He had a $200 a day habit. Did you hear that? $200 a day habit. And he was getting $200 a day by doing what? Panhandling. Sitting out with a sign saying he needs food, he needs money, he needs help. He was getting over $200 a day. That's more than many of us make working a 9 to 5 per day. You understand? That's $1,400 a week that he was blowing just on drugs or heroin. That's the favor that he can get. Homeless Jake out on the street trying to beg and scratch. He ain't getting no damn $200. That's the warfare. Warfare is accomplished that her iniquity is pardoned. Now the door is open. That's how the Most High has allowed us. When he says, okay, the iniquity is pardoned, meaning what? That the door of grace now has been opened up for us to be able to repent. Change our ways. Fall under the banner of righteousness. Gather ourselves together, O nation of the Zion. This is and that is the time that the Most High is telling us. Our iniquity has been pardoned. For she have received of Yahweh's hand double for all her sins. We paid our dues, man. We've been through hell and back. And the Lord said, let it be known. Let it be known so that our people can have that righteous pathway to get on back, right? Let's go back to Psalms again. Psalms 21. For the king trusteth in Yahweh, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. See, the Lord said we have to find out who is our enemies. When we're reading Deuteronomy 28 and the Lord said, and thou shalt be given into thy enemies, or you shall go to the, Deuteronomy 28, 48, that we have to go to our enemies in one of all things. You understand? Like, we got to say, well, who's our enemies? Whether you like it or not, we have enemies here on this earth. Enemies within our nation. Within this nation. And within this nation too, because even Yahweh Shai said, hey, man's foes may be there of his own household. So that's also part of the problem too. But the Lord said, thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. So part of us getting into this truth and getting a clearer understanding about how we're walking, who to trust, not to trust, who to listen to, you got to know who you're dealing with. See, it's easy to throw up the propaganda and throw up the little dogma. Oh, the Israelites, all they talk about is hate, and they're anti-what? No, the Lord said once you find out who your enemies are, mark them, and don't deal with them if you can help it. Look, Sirach 12 tells us 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy. So this is the blueprint of how we're supposed to survive, man. Well, our people are tired of getting bamboozled. Hey, look at Floyd Mayweather. I'm kind of happy that the Most High is humbling him and spanking that Negro because he knows the truth. Floyd Mayweather's been on record saying he's a Jew, or he knows to be the Jew. But meanwhile, he's rubbing elbows with the damn GMO small hats. And that GMO small hat that was managing his money took over $100 million from him because he was trusting his enemy. I remember years ago, this had to have been mid-90s, late 90s, when he was Money Mayweather, when he was still, on the come up, but he was known. He came and watched us from a little bit of a distance when we was teaching at Lamert Park. I remember seeing him there. He had a champagne green Benz. I'll never forget it. Him and he had a couple of his buddies and a couple bodyguards. He knows what time it is, but he trusts his enemy. Now he's running around here broke. He just got caught up trying to buy a watch with a bounce check or something like that. I mean, you're talking about a man that had hundreds of millions of dollars. And because of his vanities and his trusting of his enemy, now he's out here crying broke, pawning watches and all kind of stuff, trying to get some money, establishing a lifestyle of having his name Money Mayweather. Now that's his fault, the love of money. But the Lord told us never trust our enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So if we go back to Psalms 21, that's how we don't get bamboozled no more. That's why we can separate from some of the knowledges and the information that gets put out there. That's how we can scrutinize and question everything that he's putting out there. That's why we always have to sleep with one eye open around them. It's because why? The Most High said, you can't deal with these people. You can't trust them like that. Once you find out who they are. So once we start realizing, okay, well, who's our people, man? Okay, Blacks, Native Americans, Hispanic, we all the same. We kindred, we brethren. Okay, cool. What about the other nations? The Lord said, those are your enemies. And deal with them accordingly when you're dealing with your businesses. And I'm not saying you got to go around here scowling at, Bob and Corey at work. We're a civilized people. You know how to deal in wisdom and knowledge on your job. You should at least know how to get along, get in and get out the matrix. But you cannot be trying to have Corey inviting them to the barbecue and all that. That's out. No. Continuing on. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. That's part of our journey. That's part of coming into the truth, right? That's part of the glory of understanding and saying, okay, well, shoot, I didn't realize that the deck is the cards are stacked against me. Who's against me? Who can I deal with? Who can I deal with? Why are these people against? The Lord said, you're gonna have to know all of this stuff. And it's not because, it's a hate group. It's because they're pro this, pro black. No. It's about identifying good, evil, and respecting what that means. Proverbs 25:2. It is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. See, the glory of the Most High is to conceal a thing, but what? The honor of a king is to search it out and find out. That's why it says the king trusteth in Yahweh, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thine hand shall find out all thy enemies, right? Because you're going to search out and find out, man, who's on my side and who isn't. Thy right hand shall find out all that hate thee. Find out those that hate thee. So that's part of our job. You got to identify. Continued on. Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. The Most High Yahweh shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. This is why you got to realize, even what is it, Isaiah 13? What says all that's with them shall be thrust through? That's why you cannot be caught out there hand in hand and hanging out. And because the Lord said the enemies of my people, they're going to get destroyed. Look at this. Isaiah 13:15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Make sure we know what side we standing on when the fiery oven of Yahweh comes through, because as we can see, he's slowly but surely touching America, touching the nations, firing them up so that they can stay in absolute warfare. He's shaking up the earth, literally and figuratively, right? We're seeing what's going on with the famines. We're seeing what's going on with Ebola and the plagues. Most High is moving. We got to know what side we're standing on when it's all said and done. Continuing on, it says, their fruit shall thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. Now, what seed was promised to be destroyed? According to Obadiah, it's the children of Esau, Edom. There shall be none remaining. And that's not, see, our people love that white man so much. The problem is that look, let's read right here. And verse 18, Obadiah verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. So Jacob, Joseph, meaning the entire body of Israel, northern and southern kingdom, will come together and what? Be the determining destruction. Remember, the Most High said that we are his battle axe and weapons of war. The elect, along, with under the 144,000 and Yahweh Shai angels, will have the glory of executing this particular judgment, right? The rest of us, if we're not part of that number, we'll sit back and watch the show, eating popcorn. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau, not an individual, said his whole house, all of them, for stubble, and they, not he, they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Going back to Psalm 21, what did it say again? For verse 10, their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth. So everything that he's planted, everything that he's established, his high-rise buildings, his corporations, his corrupt, economic systems, the religious foundations that he done set up, all the fruits that he's done is going to be spoiled, rotten, and be destroyed. His end is over with. The writing is on the wall. That's why when we see, like we're going to see an article in a minute, people are saying there's more peril than praise and prosperity as an outlook for America and its hegemony. That's a glowing reality for many now. Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. So their seed is going to be cut off. There shall be none remaining. Continued on, for they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. So yeah, he's going to get this B system rolling. He's going to get his ultimate, NWO set up and everything else. But when it's all said and done, the Lord said his ultimate goal of, trying to continue and establish rulership, it's not going to happen. Therefore, shalt thou make them turn their back when thou shalt make ready thine arrows upon thy strings against the face of them. Be thou exalted, Yahweh, in thine own strength. So will we sing and praise thy power. All praise to the Most High, because guess what? Let me get a couple more, and then we're going to continue on. This is all the will of the Most High, man. Ain't nothing I can do about it. You can do about it. Daniel 2. This is why you see these particular wars jumping off and these nations going at it with each other. Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of the Most High forever and forever. For wisdom and might are his. He changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. So this is all the will of the Most High. He's the one that puts kings in place, remove kings out of place. He's the one playing the chessboard right now. He's the one that's stirring up the pot between Israel and the Hezbollah. He's the one stirring up the pot between Iran and the U.S., between Ukraine and Russia, between you see them over there riding over there and rebelling in Albania, all over the place, man. The people are being stirred up. Look at it, Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So when we're seeing, oh, we got a peace deal. No, we don't have a peace deal. That's the Most High manipulating and utilizing these idiots. And Trump loves the camera. He's jumping out there immediately, and if it ain't the camera, it's his Twitter, not the Twitter, Truth Social handle. Quick then. Thank you for your attention to this matter as he's typing out some madness. But the Lord has got him in the palm of his hand, man. That's what it is. Daniel 4, verse 12. No, do I want 12? No, 17. 17 says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. It's the Most High who rules within this kingdom of men. So when the Most High has declared that wars, rumors of wars is going to be occurring, when he said that, destruction and peril was going to be set forth and no man can turn it back, that's just what it is. He's ruling in this kingdom. And it says, and give it to whomsoever he will. So when the Lord says, enough for you, I'm putting up this one next, that's the cycle. He ruleth the kingdom of heaven and give it to whomsoever he will and setteth up over it the basis of men. So, we see Esau's a base man, dumbed down, low level, straight out the Caucasus caves. And you wonder, how the heck can he come out here, man, scratching and, eating juniper berries and all jacked up and all of that, man, can barely be civilized within his own right. I mean, you can read about the histories about their hygiene and the lack thereof in Europe. I think there's a book called Dirt. Talks about them and the lack of sewer systems, man, the lack of bathing that they did, man. They got over here, man. The Native Americans had to teach them how to live off of the land and bathe themselves and all of that, utilizing utensils. I mean, it's crazy. The basis of man. And here he is now ruling the world, cleaned up, shaved down, three-piece suit on, calling shots. You understand? And this is what he's got going on. But remember, the Most High said he puts in whoever he will. So who's he going to put in? 2nd Ezra 6. Should be one of your favorites and mine. Verse 9, get right to the point. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So who's the next ruling class? Under Hamashiach Yahushua, yeah, it's going to be the children of Israel, period. Right? That's who the Most High said, who I'm choosing to put in. So all praise to the Most High. So when we see all these wars, don't fret, brothers and sisters. Don't panic. All of this is part of the script. All of this is part of the play. Just make sure you're playing your part and I'm playing my part. And Most High willing, we'll fare for the better. Right? So Putin is planning a military provocation with NATO. Multiple strikes been going on over there between him, Ukraine and Russia. Now, if you want to believe the headlines, they're saying Ukraine is over there pounding out Russia. Russia's over there struggling, right? So they're thinking that Putin is just going to push the panic button and say, you know what, the hell with it. I'm going all out war with NATO and Europe to give them a better reason to, lay down heavy strikes on Ukraine. But we'll see. All right. NATO's preparing for wars fought by swarms of thousands of AI-controlled drones, which will rival nukes. See, this is part of the things, and like I said, I know I got to double back. Maybe maybe next weekend I do the Revelation 9. I did 8, we'll do 9. Revelation 9 speaks about there's going to be warfare, or there's going to be warfare that resembles locusts in the air. And, there's different breakdowns on it, but I'll give you mine regarding that. But here we see where there's warfare that's being contended upon, drone warfare, from the Predator drones to the Hellfire missiles. We're seeing there's more investments going on with drone warfare than there is any other, warfare right now. The asymmetrical warfare, ground game, that's kind of like last right now. They're throwing in the bombs, they throwing in the nukes. Not the nukes, the ICBMs first. They trying to get the drones cracking. They ain't hitting the ground yet, but the ground is definitely going to be part of it. But this is part of what we're seeing here, where NATO is saying they're preparing for wars. That's plural, right? Remember what Yahushua said? There shall be wars and rumors of wars, an extension of war. NATO is preparing for wars fought by swarms of thousands of AI-controlled drones, which will rival nukes. Okay. It says NATO's preparing for wars that will be fought by swarms of thousands of drones controlled by an AI brain, according to a top NATO general. And that's what they invest in heavy in AI regarding this technology. AI, again, we all know is part of this beast system. That's the driving force. That's the thing that's going to power and engineer the beast. That's the thing that does all of the damn witchcraft. That's the thing that does all the miracles. Everything that we see going on right now is AI driven. Aladada sent a video, and I couldn't help it. It was funny, but at the same time, it was wild because some cat, man, he got an app on his phone, and he filmed his brother sleeping in a laundromat, and then he manipulated the video to have the manager of the laundromat dressed in a bikini sit on the dude's lap and grinding on the dude. And then he goes up to the brother and he like, hey, I thought I should let you know, man, while you was asleep, I thought this was weird. This guy came up and he, sat on your lap and was grinding on you. I don't think you knew because you was asleep. And the guy's looking like, what? Like, hell no, I didn't do that. What? He's like, who did this? So he goes to find out. He said he was going to go tell the manager. He goes to the manager, and the guy imposed the manager's face on this body that was in this damn bikini grinding on the brother. And he's like, man, that was you in that damn bikini. And it turned up, and the guy with the phone, he's laughing. He's talking about, yeah, that's unethical, man. You shouldn't have did that. Egging on the whole situation. It was wicked as hell, but I gotta admit, it was funny, but it looked real. Like, AI is out of control. That's why we are, disclaimer, you see me doing any wild stuff that you definitely have to second guess. If you know me, you're gonna be like, no, IQ wouldn't do that. What? Second guess, please. Because, hey man, the witchcraft is unbelievable now. I wish I could play that video or show that video because it was wicked, man. It was on, I think he sent it on X. But this is just through the phone. He filmed the guy and then created a whole video with this damn AI. Anyway, man. So imagine what they're doing with the AI brain. You see, what's the name of that movie? Dang. Ion always talks about it too. It's with the little Edomite from Transformers, LaBouffe, and dang, what's the name of that movie? Eagle Eye. That one's a good too. That one shows you the whole AI brain, man. That damn AI was manipulating everything from Predator drones to the military. Went rogue on y'all know. If you ain't seen Eagle Eye, check that one out. But anyway, it says since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, both drone and AI technology have developed at a lightning pace. That's important. Like I said, we'll maybe cover that next Shabbat, most high willing. But this is all part of where we're seeing trumpets being blown, seals being loosed in these days and times as we continue on in our quest for our kingdom. Let's continue. All right. So it says Ukraine unleashes one of its heaviest drone bombardments on Russia. So again, more drone warfare. They've been knocking down the Kremlin. They said they had 660 drones. Russia knocked down. They said they knocked down a vast majority of them, but a few got through, battering Moscow. So I'm just waiting for Putin to stop playing games and go crazy, because that's what this is all indicating, that if Ukraine is doing all this after just like I said last week, a few months ago, what's the name? Zelensky was copping pleas, saying he wanted peace. But now that he's gotten assurances from NATO and gotten more money from them and more help from them, he's back on the warpath again. And they've even opened up the doorway for Ukraine to be part of the EU now. And they say, it's going to take a long process, but we're open to the possibility. That already is a no-go when it came down to Russia. Russia said that they can't be a part of NATO. If they get in the EU, the next step is for them to be in the NATO. So they already stepped down and said, no, we're not doing that. That's why we're in the war. That's why they're in the war right now. Israel's deliberate targeting of children is part of an ongoing Gaza genocide. The UN is probing. I mean, can we? This is why we talk about our warfare is not the warfare that they're going through. They say that this is deliberate targeting of children. So when they're talking about, when we seen what happened with the bombing in Iran, when they bombed the girls' school, the hospitals, the refugee encampments, starving them out and all that, all war crimes. I mean, and what happened to Netanyahu? Was still supposed to be on trial, man. He got warrants out. I mean, damn, if they can find my cousin with a warrant, with a bad tail light, and all of a sudden they pulled him over, he's up out of here. What the hell you taking so damn long to prosecute this damn heathen, man? That's because system won't work for us as it does him and them. Deliberately out here destroying the little Ishmaelite kids, man, and whoever else is in their pathway. And the UN has got a probe about it, man. Ain't nothing to probe about it. You know what's going on. Israel is deliberately targeting Palestinian children in what has become a key factor in the ongoing, quote, genocide in Gaza. United Nations investigators charged on Tuesday in a report slammed by Israel. Of course, Small Hat said they can do no wrong. All they got to do is say, that's anti-Semitic. You can't say that. What, do you hate us? Everybody hates us. Remember how much it cost? The gas? Yeah, we suffered. We can't take it no more. We have the right to defend ourselves. Remember that whole slogan? Drawn up by what's the name of them? Not the CIA, but more than likely should the CIA and their little version of the CIA. I forgot what they call themselves. But that was the whole slogan. They have the right to defend themselves. This not been defense at all at this point. They've been on the offensive. The UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry said it had found evidence that, quote, Palestinian children have been deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli security forces. This, it said, was a key factor in establishing the genocidal intent of the Israeli authorities and security forces to destroy the larger Palestinian group in Gaza. Cold part is, they ain't gonna do nothing about it. That's just a fact. They've been doing this for a long time, and they ain't gonna do nothing about it. Continuing on. Now, here we go. Who's celebrating a so-called birthday next week? Agent Orange is out here parading around, getting ready. He just celebrated his born day. It was on the 14th. His UFC Bread and Circus event. He just had U.S. What was it? State, what was it? Some fair. We're gonna look at it in a second. That was a flop. But if we're dating back to the Persian empires and continuing on, the average empire lasts about 250 years. So let's just put it down like this, man. When the sentiment of the people and the earth in general, because remember, we've seen plenty of articles where Europe is turning it back against America. People are already despising America. The prime minister of Turkey then came out and said everybody hates America, but we got to deal with him because he got the keys to the car. Basically, right? Now that America's own people, man, Satan casting out Satan, they at each other's throats, MAGA against MAGA, everything is turned upside down. Why? Because here's the start of the ending. Everything ain't gonna end next week. But when you're looking at the general cycle of kingdoms, 250 years will be the marker that should, if patterns is right, if the quote unquote algorithm is right, should signify the end of America or the complete downfall and destruction of this place. And you got the perfect damn puppet sitting in the chair right now to do it. He has driven this place down in the last year and a half. That's all he's been in office, a year and a half. And look how much damage, how much bad, and how much distress he's got on this place now. Mind you, he's still got another 2.5 years to wreak havoc. So time is ticking. Sands of the hourglass is on. That's like when you see 2 Ezra 9, it says measured out the time. Let's look at that real quick because that's relevant. That is relevant. That's part of measuring the time. 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. So what are we paying attention to everything. 250 years is the marking of the end of the kingdom. Okay, America next week, 250. Now we're going to see how the spirit of the Most High even furtherly puts this place in a twist. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world, which you may remember. Even Yahweh told us, all these things must come to pass. These are the beginnings of sorrows. Let's read that in Matthew 24, verse 8. For context, we'll read 6 down to 8. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Check. See that ye be not troubled. Check. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation. That's going to come. Kingdom against kingdom. That's coming. And there shall be famines coming. Pestilences. That's on the way. Earthquakes. We just seen 5 earthquakes happen within 24 hours in diverse places. Mind you, we'll look at that in a little bit. Everywhere from the Philippines to Japan to Venezuela to Papua New Guinea. I mean, it don't get no more diverse than that. But guess what? All these are the beginning of sorrows. Start of the ending. Jumping back over to 2 Ezra 9 again. Because notice where it says in verse 1, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, not all of them. He said, if you see part of them start to go down, then you're going to know that it's the beginning. Then thou shalt understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, are we not seeing that? Then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So he's speaking, these are the days of prophecy. All right. Now let's double back over here and let's continue on. So look, 250th birthday jitters. Americans see more peril than promise ahead. That's where the inspiration for the title came, because what? More people, they ain't so excited about the future of America now. I wonder why. Look at this. America is not in a party mood. Even as the United States approaches the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, a celebration of the founding of the world's oldest modern constitutional democracy, most Americans are mired in dissatisfaction with the nation's president and pessimism about its future. By double digits in recent polls, they predict the country's best year are behind us, with more peril than promise ahead. And you can take that to the bank. Continuing on, look. Trump's Great American State Fair opens with melted ice cream and empty booths. He trying to have a damn state fair, man. Empty booths. There was a number of states didn't participate. The power went out. Most High struck this place. Look at this. The event has quickly faced problems, including power outages, melting ice cream, and a lack of representation from states that declined to send delegations. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Do you understand? While organizers assured visitors all parts of the nation would be represented, at least 10 states and territories refused to participate, with many citing the price tag to send staff to the 16th-day event as their reason for opting out. Booths from Connecticut, Oregon, Washington, Maine, Alaska, the U.S. Virgin Islands featured just backdrops and chairs or carpets. And the Most High hit them first with the damn power outage, shut them down. I mean, that damn UFC event, man, they said it was all kind of damn mosquitoes and bugs all over the dang place. Esau out there drunk off their butts, man, fighting in the crowd. Just straight goofy cave knuckle dragon mentality going down amongst his people. But other states went all out for the semi-quincentennial. The Texas booth allowed visitors to take photos with the Alamo, play with the interactive display for long-running music series Austin City Limits, and sit inside a spaceship. Meanwhile, the Nevada booth was Las Vegas themed. California's booth offered attendees the opportunity to enter a raffle for a free vacation. Hey, give me a break. It was a dud and continues to be one. Downfall. Continuing. Damage to U.S. key bases in the Gulf are so extensive the Pentagon may not rebuild them. Remember, probably about a month and some change ago, I played a video from CBS, and they had video coverage of all the U.S. bases that was destroyed and leveled that they was not talking about, as they're dumbing down and lying about the numbers of casualties and injuries and damage that's been done. They're trying to control the narrative. As Trump runs around, keep talking about, they have no military, they have no navy, they have no missiles, we've destroyed everything, they have no generals. They want to make a deal. 40 times later, there seems to be no truth to any of that. But America has been lying. America has been covering up the damage that's been done to them. That's a fact. We've seen the video evidences. Now we're seeing follow-up articles from the Wall Street Journal saying, it's worse than they're telling us, and it's worse than we thought. Interesting. Who else is in trouble? Oh, Esau's crumbling all over the place. Trump declares Keir Starmer failed badly as the UK Prime Minister cries and quits office after claiming diluted list of achievements. This is the same guy that was parading around saying the digital ID is going to be mandatory over there in England. Remember that? He was trying to do the will. Who knows what they got on him that they had to move him aside. But you've got politicians, military figures from America, the UK, all over the place, quitting, retiring, resigning, you name it. Esau's kingdom is in straight peril, man. Confusion. Look at it. President Donald Trump said that the outgoing UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer failed badly in his 2-year tenure as leader, with the left-leaning politician now throwing America's greatest ally into political turmoil. Starmer announced his resignation on Monday as he faced a mutiny inside his own party following the by-election win of former Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham, who is now the clear favorite to succeed him. Trump waded in on the crisis that engulfed Downing Street on Sunday in a post to Truth Social in which he attacked Starmer's record in office. Loves the troll, loves to jump online every minute. Keir Starmer will resign as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He failed badly on two very important subjects, immigration and energy. Open North Sea oil. I wish him well. President DJT, he said. So as he says, I wish him well, after you just kicked him in the scrotum and slandered him, then you say, hey, I wish you well, man. Have a good time. Like, these guys are crazy, man. Esau is completely divided. Look at this guy. Another one down. John Bolton pleads guilty to retaining national security information. What was he? The national security advisor for Trump. Remember Trump saying he was going to clean out the swamp? He was going to get rid of all of the damn water moccasins and alligators and black widows and clean the swamp out, right? Meanwhile, he had his own swamp things operating under him. Remember all them classified files being held by Slow Biden? Trump had them. This guy was one of the ones on TV and everywhere else, condemning and trying to get down on people, and he was guilty of sin his damn self under Trump. This type of dirt they doing, man. They out here doing all kind of evil, man. White collar crimes, making these side deals with these other countries, man. Making big time money. I mean, we seen 3-4 months ago when I showed you the how much money the Trump family's made since he's been in office, man. He's in the billions. Generational wealth has been established in a year and a half of him being in office, man. And once he's done, they're up out of here. And you see his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is out here expanding territory in Albania, trying to get the Greater Israel Project cracking so they can have that land over there. They want the Middle East. They can never have enough. So look at this damn, red walrus-looking guy. John Bolton, former national security advisor to President Trump, pleaded guilty on Friday to one count of retaining national security information related to his work during the first Trump administration. So under Trump, this guy was taking highly classified national security information, taking it home, storing it on his computer, sharing it with his family, exposing, national secrets. They said this guy's facing 5 years and over $2 million in fines. And he's already begging for no jail time and for leniency. And you know what's going to happen. If he does get a little time, man, Trump's going to pardon him and get him up out of there. But just goes to show you, man, that these guys as wicked and corrupt as the day is long. And another one bites the dust. Continuing on, look at this. I said it, a couple weeks back when SpaceX went public and they would pump, I said, look, they're going to pump and dump this thing, man. Trump called a ceasefire, got the stocks up, everything rolling. And now look what happened. Latest on SpaceX exploration technologies. I highlighted a couple parts here. Tech route intensifies as sell-off grips global market. Pump, dump. You pump it all up, and then once you get all the profits, you start selling off as people are still trying to buy in and losing their money. Oh. SpaceX stock seesaws following a $400 billion sell-off. Did I not say that's what's going to happen? They pumped it up. It was booming for a couple of days, about a week. And next thing you know, they got all the money back and said, let's get up out of here. And it's still going to seesaw around. They're going to still play with it, right? Tech route intensifies, the sell-off, grips, global stock. This is white collar stuff, man. This is what Esau does. They go in there and they capitalize. They're making billions of dollars, and then they clean out everybody, and then they ride off into the sunset. And we sit back here, man, fighting over scraps, killing each other just to live. Look, after $86 billion IPO, SpaceX is to borrow $20 billion. They're already in the hole, asking to borrow. They need a $20 billion loan to maintain. But they had to get all these investors to build it up, to be able to put it on the market and have it an open share, IPO and all that for everybody to invest in. So all them private investors, all they got their money back. Now they say, well, now we're in the hole. We got to keep this thing going. Well, we'll just borrow $20 billion to keep the ship alive and keep hope alive, as old Jesse Jackson used to say. How are you a profitable company, and you got to borrow $20 billion to stay afloat? They already lost like $5 billion before they got into the damn market. Now they borrowing money. He saw me playing games, man, and that's why Trump was running around here, delaying, manipulating the stock market, utilizing Truth Social, sending out tweets saying everything's under control. We got it. Okay, let the oil flow over. And next thing you know, they sitting back thinking everything is good. It's safe now. Jump back into the market. Oh, crypto get hit. The metals getting hit. They manipulating all of this stuff, man. It's a big grab going on, and that would let us know that once Esau is satisfied, once he got enough, he gonna let this whole thing collapse. Once they got all their bunkers figured, solidified and over there in New Zealand and Argentina and everywhere, hey, that's when he's gonna pop the balloon, man. This thing is done. Look at this. This guy finally realized he was working for the Ministry of Truth and said, I got to get out of here. Facts matter. NBC morning show news anchor quits on air and slams sanitized news after 4 years at the station. Oh, you realize the truth, huh? You realize you were working for Mockingbird Media. You realize you was working for the Ministry of Truth. And sanitized news meaning what? You were working with controlled narratives. You were working with controlled teleprompters. And he got tired of selling out and quit live on air. This shows you, man, that the skirt has been lifted up, man. Everybody's seeing what's going on. Took some time, but now it's being proven. Look, an NBC morning show anchor has unexpectedly announced his departure live on air, slamming, quote, sanitized news in his shock statement. Dustin Nolan of Iowa affiliate KWQC didn't hold back as he stepped down after 4 years at the station. The local news anchor announced he would be leaving his job during a live broadcast on Friday. Speaking on air, Dustin, who is an Emmy Award-winning journalist, said, I'll try to get through this. Well, before we go this morning, I have an announcement. Today is my last day here at KWQC V6 or whatever. Good to know that now everybody can say, yeah, the news is manipulated. I think everybody kind of gets that point now. But when you start seeing even the talking heads are like, I'm tired of being a damn sellout. I'm tired of lying. I'm tired of sanitized news. I'm out of here. Don't be surprised if you see some more of these cats, man, actually come out and just say, you know what, forget it. I might as well go out and hustle on my own. If I'm a liar, let me be the controller of the narrative of the lie. Drone warfare again. California police are using drones to disarm people and make arrests. Yeah, this is not Minority Report. Or is it? See, truth is stranger than fiction, man. All the way down to that movie They Live with the glasses. Throw the glasses on, you see the truth. And they had the little drones following cats around. Same way they had with Minority Report. You've seen everything from the robot dogs to the drones. Now they're talking about arming the drones. Now they're looking at police drones, disarming people, making arrests. The establishment of the digital beast global system is all in effect. AI got eyes everywhere, microphones everywhere, drones in the skies now monitoring and taking notes and taking names and dates. This is the beast system in full effect, man. In a nationwide first, police officers used a drone to intercept a weapon from an armed suspect, signaling a potential shift in local law enforcement operations. California officials announced on Monday. Yeah, they already got the robots doing the raids, busting down the windows, breaking into people's homes, man. Instead of sending the people up in there, they throw the robots in there now. Remote control robots and AI, robots crashing into homes and all of that. Back in the 80s, it was the Batarang. Now they just got the damn robot doing it. June 22nd, video posted on the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office's Instagram page. An officer wearing goggles can be seen operating a drone to retrieve a knife from an armed suspect hiding inside a cluttered house. After not responding to negotiators, the drone was deployed Inside the residence, the post says drone pilots located the suspect hiding in the corner of a garage and then used a high-powered magnet attached to the drone to grab the knife out of the suspect's hand. In the video, which is soundtracked by the Mission Impossible theme song, the intercepted knife can be seen spinning around in the air as the drone carries it back to the deputies. So just imagine, not only do we see this, but I seen it before, but I was reminded to bring this out. Brother Naquab sent the video about the what do they call them? The laser weapons. Is it the laser weapons? Remind me of what they're officially calling them. But they're talking about America. Pete Hegseth are ready to invest billions of dollars in oh damn, what are they calling them things? I'm losing. Quab, if you remember what they was officially calling them, but they were basically the same weapons, the invisible weapons that they was causing a Havana syndrome. And remember the whole story about it in Venezuela, where they were talking about the drones came and next you know, guys was throwing up blood and the eyes was bleeding and they was all jacked up. America's getting ready to invest, energy weapons. Energy weapons, right? What's the name? Bill Cooper called it silent weapons for quiet wars. They're getting ready to invest billions of dollars in that technology, man. So where you can't even tell where the threat is coming from. Your body overheating, your damn eyes start bleeding, you're vomiting, you got vertigo out of nowhere, you can't walk straight no more. Your body's completely disabled. They're investing in all of this particular technology, let alone the drones, the AI, the control, every damn thing. We talk about that beast system is on the way, man. He's moving fast to accomplish his goals. Look at this. Meta widened smart glasses lead with $299 models, leaving Apple and Snapchat chasing AI wearable race. Now, this is interesting because if y'all remember the video that I did regarding the marketing of the beast system, Bill Gates has a patent on wearables and performance-based tasks that can be done if you're wearing your wearables. It could be your Fitbit. Now you got the Ray-Ban, the Meta glasses, and all that people can wear. They've got the technology now that license plate readers. I think we talked about that last week. The license plate readers and the cameras now are going to monitor your wearables, monitor your car's performance, everything. And our people don't realize that they're connecting to these things and locking in on them. And it's technology, but it's making them one with the B system to where it has more control over track tracing, monitoring, spying, listening in, creating algorithmic profiles of what you want, how you live, and whatever, where you're going, what you're looking at. But it's always been promoted as something of thing of convenience and cool because it's technology, right? This is part of the witchcraft. There was just a brother that went viral because he was wearing his Meta glasses and socked out and beat up some other Jake while he was wearing the glasses. So he's doing like a damn live a live video. There was a movie called I always give y'all the movie rep. Hardcore Harry, I think it was. And the whole movie was you like being interactive with it, which is dangerous because that's how all of these damn video games now is all based on. All of the, the modern, Modern Warfare and all them other games, the military-based games is all like in person. You're moving in as if you're right there. As these glasses is all lined up. They had the Google glasses. Remember they had those back in the day, some years ago? Now they're perfecting these things. Google Glass, you ain't got to worry about that now. Now you got some cool, nice little shades on that's recording everything, listening to everything. You can make the phone call for you. I mean, all the stuff. You ain't got to wear these big old Apple Vision Pro goggles on to give you 3D and all that other stuff. Okay, so it was Hardcore Harry. Call of Duty. That's what I'm talking about. What I say, Modern Warfare? Yeah. That's exactly what they want everybody locked in like you in the damn game. That's why the people are so desensitized. You know, the youth now, man, the little YNs. These games don't help none with their emotional, responses to violence because they're being raised on games that's based upon nothing but slaughter, death, destruction. The movies now becoming more graphic, with death and mayhem and all of that. So when it happens in real life, you're desensitized to it. When you see the video game players now being recruited to get into the military so they can fly the drones and do the bombs and all that, they tell it, hey, it's just like a video game. Don't worry about the people down there. Hey, but isn't this an Arab wedding? Don't worry about that. These people are terrorists. You need to bomb them. Okay. Boom. And there's nothing. Yeah, I got him. Same reaction you would have if you beat the damn game. But now they're promoting a way for you to have something in your head or attached to your head that has you locked in with the beast now. And it's a race. Who's got the cheapest? Look, Meta Platforms continues to gain momentum in the smart glasses race with an extended push into affordable eyewear priced at $299 below its current Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer model, Snapchat's $2,200, and Apple's $3,000 plus Vision Pro headset. Now remember, this is when the Apple phones came out and all that, they was highly priced. People like, man, I ain't never getting no iPhone, man. Too expensive. Can't do it. Then guess what? They started letting the phone companies finance them. Now they're all the way back to, switch over to this company and we'll give you a free phone now. Remember when cell phones wasn't easily accessible like that? Now you can't go to a lower income area where they ain't got somebody posted outside trying to give you an Obama phone to make sure that you locked in. So don't think now the price is up $300 for the glass. Wait till they start lowering them down to where it's affordable and everybody can get a hold of them. Then that's when you're going to see everybody going to be locked in on this shit. You won't be able to tell if you're watching, you recording me, what are you doing? Everybody's going to be spying on each other and it's all going to be getting downloaded to the beast system so that they can create their own platforms and profiles. What are you eating? What type of gas are you doing? How far are you going? What is he doing? What's she doing? Yeah, record yourself. We'll get it all. That's how they get everybody. That's the subtlety of the devil. Make it look good, make it look cool, make it look convenient. Meanwhile, it's a backdoor trap. Look at this. Oracle to cut 21,000 jobs to fund its $50 billion AI build out, and workers say they train their own replacements. Ain't that a beat? Oracle, one of the companies Agent Orange invested in when he had his $25 billion great beautiful bill to help advance AI. Oracle, Larry Ellison, same company that got sued for illegally spying and gathering people's information. Yeah, same company. Now they're getting ready to cut 21,000 jobs to have AI take over. So is it a farce? Is it a fantasy that when people keep talking about AI is going to take people's jobs? Man, the writing is on the wall, man. Read the room. This is going to bring a lot more pain for people than we realize. And our people, we too busy making friends and loving the technology and AI and having so much fun with it and capitalizing off of it because you can monetize some stuff off of Instagram or TikTok and YouTube. When they shut all that down, remember last year they was already talking about how the AI build was getting ready to take over YouTube. They already had thousands of podcasts already on deck that people was already tuning into. The algorithms was going to be switching up, directing people to go to the AI-based content over the people that's over here struggling and doing whatever they can to sell both butt cheeks and both arms to go viral. That's going to be out of here. You already see a lot of these ads and commercials as AI on YouTube now and on Instagram and all of that. So people getting paid to do commercials and ads and utilizing your celebrity to to endorse a product. That's gonna be out of here. AI is gonna do all of that. Down and coming for that too. It's only a matter of time. And the cool part is they said they're being trained by their own replacements. And that was just the start of it, because I used to work for a company that was outsourcing jobs to India. And they was flying over Elam for people to train them for their jobs. And guess what? They got laid off, and the Indians went back to India, and they outsourced and put them jobs over there. Can you imagine having to do that? You got to train the damn heathen, man, to take your job. But now they've advanced it to where it's like you ain't got to worry about a person. You're going to train up the AI to do it. Data collecting the whole nine. Oracle has confirmed eliminating roughly 21,000 roles as part of its $2.1 billion restructuring reserve, with workers documenting that they were asked to train AI systems before being let off. The cuts are the financial mechanism behind the company's $50 billion AI infrastructure commitment for fiscal 2026, making Oracle the first major enterprise software firm to formally link a 5-figure headcount reduction to AI displacement. It's bad, y'all. Bad. Look at this. Volkswagen CEO plans 100,000 job cuts in a generational overhaul. 21,000 Oracle, 100,000 for VW. A lot of them is over there in Europe right now, in Germany. They do have a plant over in Tennessee that's got 20-something thousand people. Don't be surprised if they get hit. I mean, it just goes as par for the course as we're seeing multiple businesses shutting down, corporations shutting down, AI taking over. The longer the line of the unemployment line gets, the more dangerous times are going to become, because that's going to impact the food. People are going to be desperate out here, man, hitting the food banks, doing what they can. New jobs, opportunities is not opening up. They not, jobs is being lost more than they're being created. Your dollar's not worth what it was. Inflation is where it's at, man. This is going to create nation rising against nation, civil war, and the whole nine, man. Pressure bust pipes. 100,000 job cuts. German business news outlet Manager Magazine reports that Volkswagen CEO Oliver Blume is eyeing a major restructuring that could eliminate as many as 100,000 jobs. The latest VW earnings just show why Europe's largest automaker remains bloated in a world of weak demand, a softening Chinese market, rising Chinese competition in Europe, and low margin. Yeah, the Chinese is starting to push electric cars. They ain't driving them. They over there riding bikes and hitting the trains and everything else. But guess what? They're building the replacements with electric cars, shipping them over there to Europe, because Europe is over there starving for oil, gas, and everything else. They ain't getting it. So people are making a switch. And look what's happening. Volkswagen CEO Oliver Blume is getting serious. He plans to drastically intensify job cuts, actually phase out production at 4 German plants and spin off the VW brand into a new company. Volkswagen has become a new company, Manager Magazine wrote in the report. If fully implemented, the 100,000 job reduction would eliminate about 15% of Volkswagen's current global workforce of 650,000. Bloomberg data shows VW went on a hiring spree between 2008 and 2020. So they're saying that this is only going to be a 15% reduction. That's still a hell of a lot of jobs, 100,000, right? But guaranteed, if they're going to a whole new model, you know that model is going to be AI and robotics based, which means that number is going to be even more increased. But I digress. Factory job cuts in June neared financial crisis and COVID levels, S&P says. So look, even the factory jobs and those cuts, they're saying it's going back to the levels of COVID now. So that means the manufacturing, anything that's going on over here, all of that is suffering. So America financially is on the downslope, as we can all tell. Look, job cuts at U.S. factories ran near the highest level since the end of the global financial crisis in 2009 and the COVID pandemic, as worries grew over global demand and rising costs, S&P Global reported Tuesday. Everything's getting hit, man. The blue collar worker that's working in the factory in the warehouse, the nerd that's sitting back programming and doing AI. That Oracle just said 21,000 of y'all is getting up out of here. You're working in factories, you're out of here. Car manufacturing, you're out of here. Fast food workers, they getting replaced by AI robots flipping burgers, and you know, this is where they're going to subject everybody to a universal basic income, everybody in the same playing field. However, your access to that is going to be how much you cooperate with the beast, your ability to buy and sell, your carbon credits, your ability to, have a particular allowed diet, all of that. Affordable housing, everybody going to be living in, if it's up to them, coffin style apartments, man. Just look at Japan and China, man. That's the model. And that's where they want everybody going. Look at this. A pound of standard beef costs an average of $8.34, which is higher than the stagnant federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. I looked that up. A pound of ground beef now costs more than the federal minimum wage of $7. So when you're looking at, let's look at Revelation chapter 6, right? Revelation chapter 6. And this is why we got to be cognizant of what's going on and what we're looking at. Revelation 6, I think I want verse 6, yeah. Now look at this. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So what is this meaning? That when this particular seal is opened up, which is I think it's the third seal, right? This is the impact of the food supply. This is the impact of famine. A measure of wheat is like a day's labor. Let me get that in Matthew 20. And you look at verse 2. No, I'm gonna read 1 and 2. It says, for the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. So a penny a day was almost like the labor cost. That was your wage for the day, right? Now, here we are. Let me go back over the Revelation. Now it says one more time, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, a measure of wheat for a penny. A measure is like a liter of grain. That's enough to maybe make you, a loaf of bread, maybe a little bit more, right? Now it says a penny. So in other words, that's a day's labor will be able to buy you a liter of wheat to make, some bread for the family. So imagine if you're making $20 an hour and you done worked 8 hours a day, minus your taxes or whatever the case may be. You done cast out, less than $160 a day, right? So you take out the taxes and everything else, your benefits. Let's say you broke down to, $115 on a good note, whatever. That's when this seal is opened up, a black horse is out. This is what it's going to result in. A whole day's left. You'll buy a loaf of bread for over $100. That's the inflationary issue that's going to be jumping off. That's how bad it's going to be. 3 measures of barley for a penny. I mean, we're talking about scrapping together meals for a whole day's labor of work. Now, if we go back over here, and it says, this is currently a pound of ground beef is costing more than a person makes per hour on the federal minimum wage. Now that's just a person on minimum wage. You can say, well, I ain't good damn work on minimum wage. Sure, I pay my job pay me $15. Okay. All praise to the Most High for you. But there are plenty of our people out there who are not getting that. And you're missing the point. It's the fact that a pound of ground beef now costs more than a person. You got to work an hour and a little more than an hour to get some meat. Now, continuing on. So this means a worker earning the federal minimum wage cannot buy a single pound of beef with an hour of labor. A breakdown of how these costs compare shows a striking economic reality. National average. The average price for all uncooked beef is roughly around $6.24 per pound, while lean and organic varieties frequently jump up to $8 or more. Now, that's with that particular minimum wage, the federal minimum wage being $7. Fact of the matter is that now you can work and may work half a day. I mean, look, the reality is this. You can go to the grocery store right now and get maybe 2 bags of groceries and spend over $100. When years ago, $100+ you can walk away with double the bags and have some quality food. Not this rundown. We gotta, compromise and, go buy and eat, and then you gotta go take extra vitamins and minerals and herbs just because you ain't eating good. No, back then it was a little different, man. Look at this. In 2009, the last time the federal minimum wage was raised, a pound of ground beef cost $2.20. Now it's up to over $8. Something to think about. The military is reinstating flu shot requirements amid Air Force flu outbreak just months after HECSF scrapped the mandate. So there again, Esau going back on his word. Scrapped the mandatory pokes in the arm. Now they're saying, oh, it's a flu outbreak. Mandatory pokes in the arm again, just as we're hearing about the outbreaks of Ebola, and now the flu's on the loose again. Oh, got to poke everybody in the arm. So the military again getting used as guinea pigs. They're always some of the first ones that get hit up, man. From the Tuskegee experiments to the delirium experiments that they was running on them with LSD and all kind of drugs back in the days in the 40s and the 50s. Now they're getting poked up again. Mando. That was a scary word. 2019, 2020, 21. When they were saying, you're mandatory, you got to get this poke in the arm, man. You got to get the booster. And if you want to keep your job, keep your posted. He was getting, dishonorably discharged. And then they fought back and got hired back. And now they told, we're not doing that again. We're under a new regime. No mandates. Oops, we lied. There's a flu outbreak. We're going to have to poke you up again. And of course, they're going to be like, okay, well, as long as it ain't that COVID, yeah, we're cool. And no, the flu shots do just as bad, it do damage just as well. They actually are injecting the flu into you and telling you that they want your immune system to fight it off. I don't know nobody that hasn't got a flu shot that hasn't gotten sick. You get it, next thing you know, you're sick as hell. Same way people getting poked in the arm for COVID, and they end up getting it anyway. Fall for the monkey in the tail, a banana in the tailpipe if you want to. But this just shows you, man, when Esau says, oh, no, we're not going to do it, and they come right back, something else is up. Something else is going down. Here we go. Ebola detected in France after the doctor tests positive following an aid mission. So now it's moving on. Last week it was Italy. Now it's in France. It's already still wrecking the Congo, Kenya. Remember last week you had the patients escaping out of the damn hospitals because they was hungry. And they're running around on a super spread mission, zombied out. They're waiting for the next outbreak. Don't forget, he got this one in his back pocket too. So as we see the storylines continually increasing about the spread and where it's at now, wait till you hear about agent or patient zero that is in America now. We seen and heard about all these powerful quakes, man. Let's play this real quick.
Officials in Venezuela have confirmed more than 180 people were killed in those two powerful earthquakes.
This is early off. That number now is up to 1,400. 1,400. And they said tens of thousands are still missing, man. I mean, the Most High is really spanking, you know, remember the Most High even said the judgment must begin at the house of the Lord first. But Venezuela got hit 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit more than that. Cuba got hit with the earthquake. Remember that? And they felt it over in Miami. We're seeing, what was it? Japan had an earthquake 7 point something back in April. That's not our people, but, you know, it's the fact that the Most High is rattling these places up. Venezuela got hit back to back, 7 point plus, you know, earthquakes.
The frantic search for survivors is now underway.
Some Bay Area residents are still waiting to hear from their loved ones. ABC 7 Eyewitness News reporter Luz Pena spoke to some of them, as well as some people in Venezuela. Luz.
Yes, Emma and JR, the United Nations confirmed more than 100 buildings collapsed in La Guaira, a coastal state north of the capital, Venezuela, Caracas. According to the Venezuelan government, there are thousands of unaccounted individuals with more than 200 people trapped in the rubble.
Within 40 seconds of each other, two of the most devastating earthquakes in Venezuela's history sent shockwaves and panic through the capital city of Caracas Wednesday afternoon.
And you got to imagine, this place already is dealing with an economic collapse, high inflation, already dealing with energy rationing, already dealing with water rationing, already dealing with, you know, high poverty rates. Just got they whole damn, you know, oil and gold system hijacked by America. Leader was kidnapped. They throw the sister up in there, man. She's a complete puppet. Venezuela is finished. This is probably going to be as bad or worse than the Haiti earthquake in 2010. Was it 2010? Or was it before? I forgot what year the Haiti earthquake. I think it was 2010. But this is gonna be even worse, man. Our people are really in trouble over there.
And all of a sudden, the floor started trembling at 6:04, and everybody started running, hitting each other, trying to be the first to get out of the cafe. And, you know, we ran to a square nearby, and like 100, 200 people concentrated there. And we were watching buildings, parts of buildings falling off, and 2 blocks from where I was, like, an hour ago.
Now, we go back. Hold on. We go back. Because everybody heard about these, right? But we're just looking at the whole ring of fire over here. You know, 5 in 24 hours. Japan, the Philippines, Papua New Guinea, Venezuela, Redwood Valley, California. I believe this is what they call the ring of fire. This is where they have a great amount of seismic activity and fault lines all throughout this area over here, right? Now, you don't get no more diverse places than this. Earthquakes in diverse places. I mean, how much more diverse is Redwood Valley, California to Papua New Guinea? Huh? Venezuela and the Philippines. To Japan. 6.9 in Japan. And again, Japan just got hit with a 7 point something 2 months ago. So the seismic activity and the thing that's going down over here, I'm trying to tell you, preparation is an understatement, man. I remember that 94, what was it? Yeah, 94 earthquake out here. And I think that was like 6 point something. And that thing got the rocket. I can only imagine a 7 point something. And the cold part is, for those who haven't experienced an earthquake, a lot of time, well, at least in my experience, them earthquakes happen while you're sleeping. It's always like at night, early in the morning, something like that. And when it wakes you out your sleep, you know, your adrenaline, your heart pump, you don't know what the hell's going on. You got trying to get your wits together to make a move. It's a little different when you're awake and conscious, working, moving, you know, you can take advantage and you can move around how you need to move and get to safety and comfort. But if you're a deep sleeper or something like that, you get to rocking, and you know, we get so desensitized in California, like, okay, you get to rocking a little bit, you don't move. You're like, it'll be over in a little bit. No, you rocking a little bit. When you start hearing stuff falling and glass breaking it, that's when you get your butt up. And you can see the infrastructure over there in Venezuela was poor because obviously that thing was shaking enough and them buildings was dropping like flies, man. Earthquakes are scary, man. They ain't no joke. And the most I said, man, it's gonna be massive earthquakes where a third of men get taken out. So whether that's by impact of seismic activity from a bomb dropping or from a literal earthquake, doesn't matter. Shaking is gonna happen, man, and lives are gonna be lost. So we already talking about 1,400 people is already announced unalived, let alone they still got tens of thousands that's missing. So that number is going to increase even more. Pray for our brothers and sisters over there in Venezuela, man, because they're going to need it. They're going to need it.
Officials in
Now here's what Kohath was asking earlier about the fires, right? Now, let me play this real quick. Boyle Heights warehouse fire prompts smoke concerns as fighters battle complex blaze. Boyle Heights is near East LA. That smoke could be smelled all the way in Pomona, which is probably like a good hour and some change away from there. I was driving on the freeway heading to class last weekend, and I could smell it on the freeway, which is probably like a good 20, 30 minutes away from Boyle Heights, where I was at. Smoke was all over the damn place. And that was 2 days after the initial fire. It just kept coming back on fire. But watch this.
Award-winning PPE for healthcare and industrial workers that's so comfortable and so protective, it doesn't need a second thought.
And now they talking about them
ideas that wear well.
Isn't that interesting? Telling you what to buy.
Here at Terry Bice Ranch,
we have breaking news right now. LA Mayor Karen Bass and LA County Supervisor Hilda Solis, they are about to give us an update on the ongoing Boyle Heights fire response and the opening of a temporary shelter for residents impacted by the smoke. That's LA.
So this video is like 12 minutes. I'm not gonna play this whole thing, but check this out. This frozen meat packing plant, right? 85 million pounds of frozen meat gone. So here we are talking about the potential for a famine, but that's not it. 85 million pounds. They said, man, the stench now is out of control. I think brother mentioned about the rats and everything, rotten meat going on, man. It's a mess. Charred, half burnt meat in it. 85 million pounds, right? That's going to affect all the grocery store, all of the places that meat was getting shipped to, whatever. 85 million pounds gone. Let's not forget, 2 weeks before that, medical supply plant, catches fire in Tracy, California. Remember that? A few weeks before that, chemical plant in Garden Grove catches fire. So the first one, Garden Grove. They get the chemical plant blown up. They're saying, something might explode. Get out of there. Chemicals is in the air. Then they say, no, it's safe. Come on back. Everything's good. So now they put chemicals and effective, things in the air. Then a medical supply plant blows up. So now that's going to limit the supplies of medical. They was dealing with medical surgical supplies and all kind of other medical supplies. So first you do an environmental issue. Then the thing that can help save, preserve, or bring back to, health, the medicine, you hit that. And next thing you know, you're hungry too? Well, let's knock down your food supply too. It's too calculated for me. I'm like, hold on, that don't make no sense, man. You hit the air, then you hit the food. I mean, then you hit the medicine, then you hit the food. I mean, the whole nine, man. Oh, you said the medicine, people moving because of the rats? Good Lord. Yeah, you're right. The odor. Yeah, they relocating a lot of people, man. And Boyle Heights, man, heavy 10 tribe population over there, Northern Kingdom, East LA, Boyle Heights area. That's a historic area over there. That's why they were talking about. They having to find housing for moving people. It's a mess. It is a complete mess, man. But it just goes to show you, man, California is collapsing, and whether it's organized, because there's plenty of evidences that talk about the Palisades and Altadena fires, that being deliberate. And next thing you know, here they come in buying up the land and targeting to make quote unquote affordable housing in 15-minute cities. Yep, Deborah, you're right. The land grabs is unreal. This is bad news, man. Bad news. They so damn blatant with it. It's like they won't think anybody's gonna put two and two together. So now you got 85 million pounds of meat gone, rats running the streets now, people having to be relocated to move. And they ain't had no backup plans. Or how they gonna survive. I mean, that's gonna create a housing insecurities, food supply shortages, not just in California, throughout the states. Anybody depending on them things coming in. So that means prices are gonna go back up.
AFD fire
Unbelievable, man. And look at your boy. He's not done. He's not done with you dirty little Haitians, man. He's not done.
Shockwaves are being felt in immigrant communities after the Supreme Court cleared the way for the Trump administration to remove legal protections from hundreds of thousands of Haitians and Syrians in the U.S. The justices ruled 6-3 that courts have no power to second-guess the administration's decision to end those protections. The ruling ends what's called temporary protected status for roughly 350,000 Haitians, many of whom have lived and worked here legally for years after fleeing violence or natural disasters like the 2010 Haiti earthquake. Most will now have to leave the U.S. or face deportation. Springfield, Ohio made headlines during the 2024 campaign when then-candidate Trump spread unsubstantiated claims about its more than 10,000 Haitian immigrants eating pets.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Springfield's community leaders say families are stunned, and industry groups warn it could have serious consequences on the nation's elder care workforce, where tens of thousands of Haitians work as nurses and home health aides.
You see that? They're worried about their servants, man. But in the scriptures tell us that. I think it's in it was Isaiah, where it says that kings are gonna now be your queens gonna be your nursing maids and all of that. Like the roles are gonna be reversed. They're gonna have to be taking care of us. They're gonna have to be taking care of them, watching the kids and doing everything else. Same way you was, back in the days, man, in the time of slavery, mammy was raising their kids and breastfeeding their kids and doing all that. Like they're still on that time. They like, well, what about the healthcare? What about our elderly? Like the Haitians is the ones who've been working over here taking care of us. Who's gonna do it now? See, meanwhile, they said like 450,000 Haitians are gonna be affected by this, man. That's gonna either have to voluntarily get up out of here or get deported. Remember I said, well, ICE got that budget approved. They're gonna start cracking down. They're gonna come back raising hell again. And here they go. Remember a couple weeks back, they said, oh, New York, get ready. It's about to go down. Now they telling the Haitians, get up out of here as they, are importing white South Africans so they can make America white again. And the Syrians, they just cannon fodder, man.
The court also revived a policy allowing border agents to turn away asylum seekers before they ever set foot on U.S. soil. Trump aide Stephen Miller now declaring the country's asylum system all but shut down.
So America's doors are closed fully to asylum seekers.
But not to these white South Africans. You granted them asylum, talking about they being persecuted and their farms being taken, which was proven to be a lie. Play the video from who was it, 60 Minutes, did a whole little special on there, man. They was like, no, that's a lie. We good over here. It was like, man, yeah, there's crime and stuff happens. Even black farmers is getting hit up. It ain't just us. They was like, man, that's propaganda. They gonna let Esau come over here, but can't the Haitians coming over there from one of the most impoverished areas in the Western Hemisphere? They eat mud cookies over there. You tell them they can't come over here to try to get a better life, man. They can't seek asylum from the violence and the what's the cat's name? Barbecue over there that's trying to, running the whole damn country by gang warfare. They can't escape. No other countries that's going through issues, man. Third world countries going through drug warfare and poverty and everything. There's no asylum, huh? Unless you fit the complexion for the connection. Devil.
We've set up agreements where if you want asylum, then we will find a country elsewhere in the world to take you. It's very simple, very elegant, a very complete solution.
Look how smug, man, these damn heathens are, man. Very simple. You can't come here, but we'll find another country for you to go to. If that's not a stamp, period, of who runs the earth, Job 9:24. Look at the face. There you go. If not, where and who is he? What other nation, what other people can say, you can't come here, but we'll find another country in the earth which we control where you can go? Same way Agent Orange said, man, we'll set up Ebola quarantine facilities in Kenya. They can't come here. No Ebola patients over here. Send them over there to them damn Africans. Very simple, very elegant. Unbelievable, man. Last one before we get up out of here. Look at this. Shades of 9/11 happened over there.
Tonight, the alarming images, a small plane crashing into the tallest building in Beijing, one of the tallest buildings in the world, in fact, and authorities tonight have not said whether it was deliberate or accidental. Here's Britt Clennett with the pictures.
Tonight, a small aircraft crashing into one of the world's tallest skyscrapers in Beijing. Shocking video circulating online showing chunks of debris falling to the ground below. The tail section of the two-seater Sunward Aurora dropping hundreds of feet. Flight Radar 24 sharing a partial flight path showing the plane had taken off from an airport 30 miles east of Beijing around 6 p.m. local time. Images showing what appears to be a large hole and broken glass of the iconic 108-story CITIC Tower. Roads closed, fire engines and police vehicles seen outside. Video circulating online showing flames at the base of the building, firefighters working to put it out. Beijing airspace is closed to drones and civilian planes, leading to questions about the cause of the incident.
And David, Chinese authorities, they have yet to say anything about this crash, and all videos, images and posts related to the incident have been removed from the internet in China. David?
Scrubbed from the internet. That's incredible too. Great, thank you.
Can you imagine? Now, whether or not that was a small area, I don't know what happened with that thing, but they say it was a small aircraft. They can't get no information. It's scrubbed from Chinese internet. However they got, this footage, maybe from private people that, sent ABC News their film footage or whatever. But a small plane crashes into this largest building, and the ability for the Chinese government to make it disappear for local people on the internet to just deny that happened. Remember, and I only bring this up because China is the blueprint. They're the guinea pigs. America has the same ability, the technology. They just want to see will it work. To cover up, to deny things that happen or whatever. If China immediately says, we're not even going to speak about this, scrub everything and anything off the internet, this didn't happen. I don't know where or why they would do that, but what's going on with it? It just, this stuff that just makes me scratch my head. Like, what the hell is going on, man? Did it really happen? Was it a drone? Was it an actual plane? There was no deaths reported. We don't know what the hell's going on. Truth is stranger than fiction, man. You can't even trust your own eyes now. I mean, this place is becoming more deceptive and more cunning.
Listen up.
As we go.
I've changed my mind.
What's going on? Let me turn her off. Shalaki, y'all. This is close that out. I don't know. But anyway, another one in the books, y'all, man. Prayerfully, this was enlightening. Y'all got some edification today. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, IQAhmath, man. Keep your eyes and ears peeled, man, because, you know, the plot always thickens as time moves on, man. And especially next weekend, don't be surprised if it's a little false flag, something jumps off with its so-called birthday and the anniversary of America and all this other stuff, man. Keep your eyes and ears peeled, man. Stay vigilant. Because who knows what this place got planned. And we know one thing for sure, two things for certain, it ain't good. So that being said, I'm gonna get on out of here, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, IQAhmath. Always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, don't shoot the messenger. Shalom.